Nazarite grass, we can't digest the fibers, but we can chew the juices out of it and get the nutrients out, spit out the hard fibers our stomachs can't digest. We looked at the clover, and I think probably all of us know what clover is. It's got the petals. Let me see here, just these guys. And then we also looked at the plantain, which is this stuff here, these big, no, that's dandelion.
Here's your plantain.
Dandelion with the jagged leaves. And what is dandelion in Spanish?
Diente de león. Diente.
Diente de león.
De león. Lion.
Lion tooth.
De león.
Lion
Yeah,
tooth.
lion is a león.
And it looks like lion teeth, don't it?
Yes.
Big jagged teeth.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so that's how you tell the dandelion. It looks like lion's teeth.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. Unlike the plantain, which is very round and smooth, right here it almost looks like spinach.
Spinach?
It looks like it.
It's like it, but it's plantain, right?
It's plantain, yes. And so then we looked at the willow, how you want the kind of the greener, the new shoots. And then you just de-leaf it. And then you could just chew it, and it works like aspirin. It's where they get aspirin.
You use the bark on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just chew the bark. And you don't want to...
After it's not bitter.
You don't want this
spit it
stuff
out
in your
and put a new
stomach, like the hard fibers.
one. Just suck it.
Yeah.
Just suck it.
Yeah.
Oh, just suck it.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so moving on, let's kind of... Yeah, you guys could try. And I would encourage everybody, as I show you plants, feel them in your hand, look at them, just try to become acquainted with these plants. These are plants that you can find all over, and they may come very handy one day.
It makes your teeth. So you suck on it, but you don't chew it, or do you chew a little?
You don't
bit
want to
of the juice?
swallow the fibers.
Chew up
You
the
just-
bark that's on the outside,
yeah,
but
just
not the
chew it
woody
and
stick in
swallow
the
the
middle.
juice. Yeah.
And after a while, it won't be bitter anymore, and you'll have sucked all the juice out, so you go on to a new one.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so if we move this way. As you're walking around, you can see all this plantain all through here.
Lots of plantain.
Dry it? Yeah, kitchen, okay?
I know there's yellow down there.
Okay.
There you go, come
I
on.
don't remember it here.
And then you have the dandelion.
Dandelion. Or those yellow flowers.
Marissa loves these flowers.
I like eating it.
I never ate
The
it.
end
Well,
of it.
You have to say 10 times.
Yeah, so you can remember.
So we were talking about trees. We just looked at the willow tree. Does anybody know what these guys are? These white and black trees.
What's this?
Yes.
Cedar?
No?
Cedro?
No.
Oh, what? I don't know. It's very pretty tree. And the song.
Aspen.
Aspen?
And the type of aspen it is, it's quaking aspen. And the reason they call it quaking is as soon as the wind starts blowing, you'll see all the leaves kind of like quake. Quaking aspen.
Wicked aspen?
Quaking aspen. And the thing that you can get on the aspen is you want the little buds. It's kind of high up there to get them. It's when the leaves are first starting to form, there's little buds. And you can pick those buds and eat them. And so that's what you get on the quaking aspen. Maybe we'll come across some lower branches. There might be one right there. So you can see where the branch or the leaves are. And you have where the leaves are just starting to form, these guys. This little sprout things.
Uh-huh.
It's not a whole lot of food, but variety is good, you know. Everything you can get. So you just pull off the little buds before they become leaves and eat the buds of the quaking aspen.
let's see.
Esto es lo que te come esa comida. ¿Dónde está Angelita?
It's not
Esto
a
es lo
lot,
que- esto es lo
but
que es el
variety
alimento.
is good.
Es eso.
That's a leaf anyway.
Ese es el alimento.
Small.
Oh, that's
Esto es lo que tú te
What about
comes.
these guys
Es
right
como una nuececita. pues.
We're gonna
es
get
lo
into
que
these in a
agarran aquí.
minute,
Okay.
because there's a better
¿de dónde salió?
one out that way.
Pero ¿de dónde salió la cinta de aquí?
Yeah.
Is that currant?
Is that a
Kind of.
currant bush?
Like that.
No, it's a rose hip.
These look like taco bells with the shiny leaves and stuff, but they're
Yeah, quake and aspen.
Okay. Do you have poplar trees here?
What tree?
Poplar.
Poplar?
Poplar?
We have
I
many.
don't know. Not, I don't think right here.
Okay.
The thing that we have the most of are these trees.
Yeah.
Do you know what these trees are?
Pine trees.
Those are pine trees. There's a lot of varieties of pine. They all work the same. Pine, you can use them all the same. And there's a lot of pine trees around here, and there's a lot of uses of the pine tree. I was up near the Canadian border one time, and it was really cold, and I didn't have enough clothes, and so I was basically getting hypothermia, and I was getting real sick, my dad and I, and someone turned us on to the pine needles. They're full of vitamin C, and what we did is we picked a bunch of the pine needles and just stuck it in a pot of water and boiled it, and then we drank the water. We made tea out of it, and it's actually pretty good, but it's super high on vitamin C, and it was a great drink, and by the morning we were completely healed from that problem, when before we were getting really, really sick. And so the pine needles are great. You can even just chew on them.
Yeah, the smaller one, the younger ones.
The younger
really
ones
good.
are better. These
They're
ones are
really
more
good.
fibrous.
It's almost like citronella or something like that.
You can taste it if you want. Spit it out if you don't want it. It's not that tender. The younger ones are better.
Starchy.
Yeah.
The root or the...
The really
needle,
younger
the whole
ones
thing.
is like lemon or something like that.
The younger ones, actually, you can kind of break down in your mouth. These ones are kind of more fibery, but kind of has a similar taste. You can see what it's like. But another thing that you have in the pine is pine cones. And when the pine cones get big enough, there's something that's most coveted by squirrels.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And of course the pine cones, you know, they get about the size of your fist, my fist. And they begin to open it up. And have you ever seen those little helicopter seeds? They have like one wing and they twirl in the wind.
Yeah.
That's what pine cones have. They
Have you
open
seen
it up and all those seeds fall out and make little helicopters.
Here's a bad looking one.
Here's a bad looking one, but they get like this, and these open up and all the little helicopters come out. But the squirrels just go nuts over this thing, and they eat them up. So you got to get them before the squirrels. Have any of you ever tried to purchase pine nuts before?
Yes, yes.
Are they cheap?
No, it's that expensive.
They're very
They
expensive.
coming from this?
They
Yes.
come from this. They come from these trees.
Oh.
Yes.
So we can eat this, shoot it? This shoot it?
Well, it's not grown up yet.
Oh, has to
There's
be
a
like
nut
that.
hidden inside of here, but I think
Yeah.
the squirrels got all this
the
one.
nut
Yeah.
I don't
is
think there's any
inside.
nut.
This time of year, they've
Oh,
already
this one.
fallen out, but before they're closed, they're like all closed, and as they open up, all the seeds fall out.
The pine cone.
And it has a little wing
Yeah,
attached to
and they're very expensive. The reason they're very expensive is I worked for some companies that sold wild edibles, and we used to harvest it all, and they wanted us to do an order of pine nuts, and we learned quickly that it wasn't worth it.
You got a better one. Thank you.
Because it's very difficult to get up into the trees and get them all.
Before
And to be
yeah.
able to get all the nuts out. It's labor intensive
Before the bee.
before the squirrels or anything else. And so we thought, you know, we'll just get a low-powered rifle and we'll just shoot them out. And so we tried that for a while, and it's difficult to knock these things out with a gun. So it wasn't worth it to us. It was too much work, and that's why they're so expensive. But they're very nutritious. If we're out in the wilderness and we're needing some protein, we need some like heavy things like nuts, and this is a good source. And so if we can get them before the squirrels get them or before they open up, it's a good resource. And when we do get them, if we could dry them, then we can have them all year long. Even
So you have to
During
dry
the
them
seasons.
before you eat them?
no, you can eat them straight.
Oh, eat them straight.
But if you do dry them, they will last all year long.
Right.
Because these are seasonal. You can only get them seasonal.
Yeah.
And so
Now, how do you get the nut out of it? Do you have to heat it to open it up, or it's going to be
you want it while it's still slightly green, And you could put it on like black tarps and just let the heat dry them out. And as they open, the seeds will fall out, or you can shake them out. Yeah.
Hey, don't let the squirrels get it while you're doing it.
The squirrels will tear them up. Keep them from the squirrels. You're doing all the hard work for them.
They have to be.
Now, we don't have a very good specimen, but if you have like a young, tender pine tree, there's a layer right under the bark. You have the main wood, and then you have the bark over the wood. And well, this is kind of too big of a tree. We need a littler tree to demonstrate it.
How dare you
I don't know if Gene wants me cutting his little trees. But basically, just right under this bark layer, right here. See if I can get a little bit of it. That's too thick. But you want the young ones because the older ones are too hard. But right under the bark layer, there's a skin layer between this and the wood. And that skin layer is called the cambium layer.
Cambium?
Cambium.
Cambio. Ah, cambio. Cambio lane?
Layer.
Layer. Oh, donde hay ya el cambio de capa. Okay.
And it is full of vitamin C, very nutritious. You can't chew it up and swallow it, but some people say it's like a mountain bubble gum. And you could chew it like bubble gum and just chew and chew and chew and get all the stuff out and then spit it out. There's a story where an Indian tribe was raided by another tribe in the dead of winter. And so they had to flee into the mountains and leave everything. And in the winter, everything's covered in snow. And so there was nothing to eat. And so what they did is they took the pine trees and they lived the whole winter, this whole tribe, on just cambium layer. And they were able to survive the winter. Nice. And so you could find pine trees. I mean, this whole area is just full of pine trees. And so you have the nuts, you have the needles, you have the inner bark layer, and you have this all year long.
So we have enough to survive.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Because vitamin C provides energy.
Uh-huh.
Prevent you to be old.
Yeah.
And then you be younger.
Turns old people young.
Now, isn't there pycnogenol? Isn't that where they get that? It's from the pine, isn't it?
What's that?
Pycnogenol. It's a nutrient, a vitamin you can buy from the health food stores.
I don't know. I'd rather get this way.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, how much food is in one of these guys?
Wow,
a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, all these trees, all along here, pretty much all of them are pine trees. There's a whole forest here of them.
Yeah, got a lot of those.
Yeah.
We don't have to be worried about food.
No. Now, that's a little bit of the cambium layer he dug out.
Oh, okay.
It's like a skin in between the bark and the wood, and it's soft. And you can chew it up and eat it.
Okay, he went.
Oh no, go ahead.
Are you gonna get a picture?
No, go ahead. Oh, so sweet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's the pine tree. Another excellent thing about the pine tree is if anyone has good eyes, they can kind of see that there's a limb broke off part way up that tree there. And there's yellow stuff dripping out.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
That's sap.
Oh yeah. That's the sap. Yeah.
What is it?
Sap or pitch. When Noah built his ark, he dabbed it with pitch
this tree here
to make it watertight. Right?
Yeah. Oh, so like a sort of like a glue?
Yeah, it's very sticky, very gooey.
Blood of the tree.
Yeah.
The blood of the tree.
I don't know if that's
So it's really good for everything they catch or something like that.
Yeah. What is very interesting about that, and we can get a closer look at it.
In our survival class, we got someone, he cut himself, he sliced his finger, and we used pitch, and it was perfect.
Okay.
When the tree is damaged, the juices of the tree comes out, and what it does is it seals where that wound is.
Yeah.
It'll do the same thing for us. We could take that, and if we have an open cut, just the other day I taught a wilderness survival class. We actually camped out in the mountains, and we built our own forts and all this stuff. And one of the students of our school, Carl, was carving on a stick. She knows all about it. She was there. And
oh yeah, I saw
it. It is this side of his.
He was carving backwards, And I just taught this class, left, and he was telling me about this dream he had where he cut off 4 of his fingers, you know.
Well, indeed, in reality,
But-
he cut 2 of his fingers.
Yeah. And so I left, and then that same day he waxed 2 of his fingers. Not all the way off, but
But
cut
the
it down
first,
to the bone.
yeah, the first one almost onto the bone.
Yeah, and so what I taught them was to put pitch on it, and so they did. They put a bunch of pitch over it, and they actually wrapped it in plantain and stuff. And now it's healing very quickly. You could go see him. He's got a bandage probably with pitch still on it.
Yeah, he was just going to get some.
And
Isn't she used
I know an
play, too?
individual who pretty much cut his finger off, just skin hanging there, filleted it.
We
Yeah.
we can tell that this is the chlorophyll.
The chlorophyll?
Uriah,
Chlorophyll from the tree.
what are you doing there?
No, this is just the sap. And
Is
what
the
this
sap-
does,
sap?
it
Say it.
sap or pitch.
S-A-B-A.
SAP. SAP.
S-A-P.
Yeah, sap.
Uh-huh.
Okay, savia en español.
Yeah.
Savia.
Because it's got a wound and it's going to heal that wound over. And it'll do that same thing for us. We can put it on our skin and it'll heal our wounds over. It's a powerful thing. There's a good ball.
How would you find the
This is
pit?
the other
That's a
one?
sap.
That's sap.
Yes. Pitch.
That's
Yeah,
kind
this is sap.
of more dry. When it's still wet, it's very sticky like
You're getting a
honey.
piece of sap.
It's hard to get off.
Tell him to get a piece of sap.
Yeah. And so that's a very useful thing for healing. Also, it's a great fire starter. If you are ever stuck in the mountains and everything is wet and nothing will burn, you just get some of that dried sap and light it, and it'll burn in the dead of winter. Yeah.
Those buildings by pitch, burned by pitch.
Yeah. So it's a great fire starter.
How do you, I mean, okay, we see that way up there. How would we get some? We have to just
And-
look for something or
Yeah,
look
they're
for
finding
a
it
wound?
now.
Yeah, they just
You
found
can
it.
find it
so-
all up and down
Okay,
the tree.
all right.
Yeah, you don't have to climb all the way up.
Yeah.
But for in a wound, like if you cut your and have a big flap of skin, wouldn't you want like the more liquidy stuff?
Yes.
You would. You wouldn't want the hard stuff.
That would be.
You'd want the very sticky, wet stuff to
That
go
you could
over it.
just put
Okay.
into the wound and then put the skin over top.
you heat it up.
You could heat it up and become liquid again.
Oh, that's an idea.
But
So if it's not available, like if you don't see it outside, can you make the puncture and it'll come out?
you can.
If I
It'll
had a
take-
wound, I think I would do that.
You're not going to get it in one day by doing that. If you cut it down to the actual wood, give it a depends on the time of the year, but maybe within a day or so you'll start seeing some of it form.
Oh, okay. Also, it's not like immediately.
Yeah, you can't just stab it and it starts flowing. Yeah.
Maybe in this weather is fast now.
Because it's hot, it's going to come out quicker this time of year.
Okay.
But it's not going to flow like blood. You can't just stab it and it bleeds. Yeah. So I know a guy that pretty much filleted his finger off and then wrapped it with pitch. And you can use fur, but we don't have fur around here in this particular area. And he wrapped it and left it for like a week. Yeah. And after taking the pitch off, you can't even tell he even cut his finger. There's no scarring.
Wow.
And he literally, it practically was dangling there.
It was cut all
Yeah.
the way through and just skin on the other side. The one Garrett boy, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it has a lot of healing properties. And so God put these things
Yeah,
here
right,
for us
hallelujah.
to use.
Hey.
And what is amazing is, yeah, here's a lot of samples right here if you could show all them.
I got it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, they get
Let
some
me
of it.
see.
What is amazing is
Well, of course I
we
know.
have everything around us for healing.
No,
But we
thank you.
have
Just
adopted a new form of healing, pharmakia.
Right.
Yeah.
And we think that we have to mix chemicals and make man-made products in order for our healing. And this stuff has a complete healing. If you look at what the body was made of, God breathed into man the breath of life and he became a living soul. But before he did that, he formed them of the dust of the ground.
Yeah.
And to be able to form dust, you have to have moisture. So you have the nutrients of the ground. So you have all your base elements, your iron, your coppers, and your magnesiums, and all your base elements, your minerals. And then you have moisture, water, to be able to form it. And then you have oxygen going into it. You have all the components of man.
Yes.
And in these products that we use, like trees and so on, has all the same base elements. But when you have these funny mixtures, these chemicals that are making now, they're foreign to our bodies. And even though they can make them to where they'll heal a certain area of our body, it's throwing off the rest of our body because our body attacks that thing because it's a foreign element. Our body don't recognize that.
Sure.
Right.
A poison to a snake. Why is snake venom poisonous to us? It's because it has developed a protein that our body doesn't recognize. And all venom is a foreign protein. And our body don't know what to do with it, and it ends up killing us. And so when we put foreign things into our bodies, it kills us. But when we put natural things in our body that we are actually made out of, it accepts it and we heal from it. And so that's the pine tree. Right here is a different tree we'll look at.
How do you get the pitch off? Is there a natural way? I mean, without using chicken pine or alcohol?
You mean when it's on your hands, your clothes?
Yeah.
Oil.
So
Use oil.
Yeah, because it does not go away like that.
frequently,
Oil, and then you have to soak the
when
oil
the
off.
snakes bite us, the body don't react to kill us. It has
No,
defense.
it's still venom. The venom is still foreign to our bodies. So venom will still kill us. One thing that helps snake bites would be like the plantain. The plantain will help draw the
the plantain.
yeah,
charcoal.
poison
And the
out.
charcoal.
And charcoal,
Clay.
clay. Her mom has a bunch of clay up there for those who are interested. And the reason why clay and charcoal works is because they have a lot of little chambers in it. It's very porous, and so it absorbs. It's very absorbent, and so when we put it on our bodies, it absorbs the toxins right out of our pores. But yeah, does anybody know what tree this is?
What tree?
Look at all this.
Cedar?
Juniper.
Oh yeah, sure.
Juniper?
Yeah, these are juniper berries. You can eat juniper berries.
You can,
Or juniper berries.
They taste horrible,
but it's edible.
but it's edible.
Vitamin C.
Yes.
I'm gonna get on it. Taste it.
As it becomes drier, it becomes more chalkier. And I don't like chalky. But it's edible. It's food.
Doesn't taste too bad, but I don't like it.
Yeah. Oh, strong.
And it has a taking me on him.
But if you go to the store, in the herb section, you can buy juniper berries. And you can use it as tea.
Juniper berries.
Oh man.
Berries.
But this is
It's edible,
juniper berry.
but it's not good.
This don't grow everywhere, but this is actually considered a high desert area. And in high desert areas, you have junipers.
Did I get you?
And you can have the berries. They're horrible. They are. They taste okay at first, but after a while they get bad.
Like as a flavoring or something.
You know that.
But you can make it into a... But so far, look around. We have looked at these trees. We've looked at all this grass area. How much edible food is around us?
We got enough to eat. Just
Do you
here.
feel at all any more comfortable that there is actually food here?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, praise the Lord for all the edible foods. Now, as we continue on, I actually have a whole list. I want to point to this little plant growing down here.
Just gonna get a cup.
These guys right here. They actually grow big and then they sprout with little flowers. We'll see a more mature one later. But this little hairy guy right here.
This one?
Yeah. We were talking about things that could stop blood. And this is yarrow.
Okay, how do you spell that?
Yarrow?
Y-A-R-R-O-W.
Y-A-R-R-W.
O-W.
A-R-R-W.
O-W, yes.
O-W?
O-W. O.
Yarrow. And this is good for blood clots. If you're bleeding, take a bunch of this, stick it on there and help you stop bleeding. It's also an edible plant that you can eat. When I first pulled up here into this lawn area, that's all I could smell is yarrow.
So
There's
I
a
can
lot of it
shoot
around here.
I can shoot it
Yeah.
directly.
Yeah, it might be dirty right here, I don't know. People driving.
It's supposedly good as a bug repellent.
Yeah,
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. What do you eat?
we've taken a lot as teas. If you're getting sick, you can boil it and then drink the juice of
In your
it.
hands and then spread that. Or crush it on
What's
your
that?
arm. Can you use it?
Yes, you can eat it.
pretty strong. It's good
So
for...
for women that are in the menopause and they had some days that you are bleeding
I don't
and
know.
bleeding
I
and
don't know if it
bleeding
would
and
do that.
bleeding.
I don't know about that part.
gonna help.
This is kind of more for like an open wound.
This is for urinary tract infections. I think that's...
I know the princess pine, but it's not in this area.
Yeah,
I wish
no,
we had
think
princess
this-
pine. It would
I
help a
think
lot.
this one, my friend's grandmother, she was having terrible urinary tract infections, and my mom showed her this on her property, and it took care of it right away for her.
Oh, that takes care of urinary
Yeah,
tract
make tea out of
infection?
it. Boil
So
water.
if you know someone who's having a problem, I would take this yarrow. It very well may help you. It's a good plant. But
pretty strong, but
a lot of
good.
times the natural bug repellents, they'll have yarrow in it. And it helps. I don't know of any natural repellent that works quite like the chemical stuff, because the chemical stuff is a straight poison. And so that takes care of the bugs, where this stuff just kind of helps repel. But, I mean, you put those poison... Our skin is
Not
open
worth it.
pores.
Yes, it is.
They're little mouths, and whatever you put on there is going to absorb into your body.
Yes, that's right.
And spraying poison on your skin, you're going to get it in your body. This is more natural and helps repel, even though it doesn't do good as spraying poison all over yourself. But yeah, so that's yarrow. So continuing on, I don't know how much time we have. What time is it? Oh, good. Usually you find them yellow, sometimes you find them purple. And do you know what a dandelion looks like when it's got the seeds? You know, it looks like a little ball and you can blow it and all the seeds go everywhere.
Yes.
This looks like a giant dandelion. It gets that big old ball. Have you ever seen those before?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that big old ball. But it's not a dandelion.
The
This-
leaves are not the same.
What do you call?
Salsify.
Salsify?
Salsify. And I've heard other people call it oyster root,
S-A-L.
because you take the roots and you could cook them and it tastes like oysters. I think that's gross, because oysters are gross, but it's flavoring. And it's not real oysters. And so here you have oyster root or salsify. Here's one that's not flowering.
Oh, this is the same plant?
You could see it's kind of like the dandelion that's got the little helicopters.
Seeds flying around.
So you can eat all of it or just the root and the stick?
See that root?
Yeah.
You can eat that. That's the oyster root. It's supposed to taste like oysters.
Looks milky.
It is milky.
When I pulled it out, all the
Yeah, she used to call it
milky
milkweed.
stuff started coming.
And so you have that root, cook it like a potato, you know, and it gives a oyster flavor. You can add it to your soups or whatever. But it's an edible plant.
So it's just the root that you use.
The whole plant may be edible, but I'm not sure. So right now I'm just saying the root.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to lead you astray.
So who wants to volunteer as a guinea pig? Try the rest
Are
of
you
it.
volunteering?
¿Es de root?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you cook it like a potato.
Oh, le pones que se
Cook
cocina
it
como
like
un
potato
Yeah.
potato.
and you eat it.
I would
You
try.
Yeah.
don't eat just the juice.
Well, I would probably
juice
cook it
is
first
sticky.
just because it's a root. So
Yeah.
you could eat it, but it's probably
So we
starchy.
can eat all of these, the leaf, the flower, the root, everything?
I don't know if you can eat the whole plant. I don't know.
We're not sure on the plant, but we
Um,
know the root.
The way that I have learned to do wild edibles is I got a good wild edible book to start off with.
Yes.
And there are a lot of good books out there, but the problem is the pictures are horrible. You got little pencil drawings. And so I got a good book with good color pictures in it.
What's the
And,
name of it?
Wild Edibles of the Northwest, I think, is the first one I got. And it had good color illustrations. I'm in the process of taking my own pictures and making my own book, but it's going to take a little while. But I just stared at the pictures until I became very familiar with it. And then as I walk around in the woods, I'm like, oh, I've seen that before. And I look in the book and there it is. And I learn what it is. Also just having experience because I've sold plants commercially. A lot of the herbs, you get like a bottle of herbs in the store and somebody's out there picking it. And that's what I did. And it amazes me because we pay like 10, 20, 30, however many dollars for just this little bottle of stuff that I just go out and pick literally huge gunny sacks. We would have several gunny sacks a piece, like big gunny sacks, like almost as tall as I am. Plumb full, several of them, every single day we were picking these herbs. And so we did a lot of plants. And Yeah, and all you have to do is just pick that stuff and just give you a few practical applications on what you can do with it. We know how to make teas, right? You just simply take the plant, you could even kind of crush her or whatever you want, and just boil it and drink the water off of it. And a simple tea. You can make a tincture. A tincture is, you know, you get the little bottle of liquid with a little dripper. All they're doing is, there's a couple different methods. You take the raw plant, stick it in a jar, and you can add oil. You can just use olive oil or glycerin. Glycerin's basically oil that everything's been stripped out of. Kind of like how distilled water is water that everything's been taken out of it. And you just fill this jar full of the oil and the plant, and you just shake it, and it's set on your shelf. And you just shake it twice a day for a week, and then you shake it like once a day for a month. And what you're basically doing is pulling all the nutrients out of the plant into the oil. And then you could pour the oil into a tincture bottle and you have it. A lot of people use alcohol for that.
This is essential oil coming from?
The what?
The essential
oil?
No.
No, this isn't essential oil. This is like herbal oils. Tincture oil. Yeah.
And how they do it is it's kind of like a pure water purifier, but not exactly, and it strips the oil right into the thing, so it's just the oil.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is just getting
Yeah. So this is just pulling the nutrients out of the plant into the oil, and then you can use the oils. Some people don't like to use the alcohol. What they use is vodka.
Vodka?
Vodka.
Right. Yeah, they do.
And what vodka does, it does strip it out a lot quicker, and it evaporates, and so it's not alcoholic. To me, I don't have a problem with it because our body's 1% alcohol, and if you take anything less than that, it creates no reaction on your body, and it evaporates anyways. Don't take straight vodka. That's alcohol.
No.
You'll be
we will
a
use
drunkard.
a drop, right? A drop.
Yeah, just a little bit. It'll strip it out, and it doesn't have an effect on your body anyways. That's what you're getting anyways when you buy tinctures in the store. You're getting basically vodka with the plants. So if you've ever had tinctures, you've had vodka.
What is that?
But if you boil it in water,
You could boil it in water.
That's what I do.
That's probably a better way of doing it, is boiling it in water or soaking it in oils to get the nutrients out that way.
Agarra la planta y la metes en el... Okay, but you say you can use oil.
Yes, to soak it in oil and
Coconut
shake
oil
it.
or olive oil. Put the plant in there.
Olive
shake
would
it
be
2 times
better.
a day, and
Coconut
you will see the
hardens,
tincture coming-
so you want
Yeah.
coming up.
yeah.
you
Eso lo
want
notaste. Pero también dice que con la vodka lo hacen, con la vodka.
and also with different.
glycerin.
What is that
Tincture.
Yeah.
If you ever buy a bottle of
Bottle, brown bottle with a drip
like a
top.
little, and it's got a little dripper and it's got something in
No.
it. That's what that is. That's a tincture. It's like a liquid
Oh.
that has all the plant nutrients in it.
Ya, y uno lo usa por gotitas en donde lo vas a diluir en algo.
But you want to be careful if you ever buy tinctures in a bottle that says, what's that name? Homeopathic. You know what homeopathic is?
Yes, homeopathic. Yes.
You know what's in it?
From earth. Nothing. Is sugar? Is it placebo or what?
If you get a tincture that's homeopathic,
It works.
all you're doing is getting a 0% something of a certain herb, and they can have like 50 different herbs on there. You're getting like almost none of that herb at all. You're just getting like the essence of the
Like
herb.
1 drop in the Pacific
Yeah.
Ocean. And if you have half a drop in the Pacific Ocean, it's twice as strong as 1 drop in the Pacific Ocean.
And they mix that with
This is
alcohol,
homeopathic.
Yes,
and you
that's
have
what I'm worried
homeopathic tinctures. So basically homeopathic is kind of like
about. I think it's
your
the-
drawing of the spirit of that nature of that plant. You're basically
Spirit of it,
getting
because
none of that plant at all, except for just a
Oh.
little bit of essence of it.
It's not scientific.
Oh,
Actually,
And that's
none.
homeopathic.
Yeah,
So-
I didn't understand what people defend homeopathic and others attack homeopathic
Yeah,
drugs.
homeopathic is basically nothing.
It's just
It-
an empty
it's-
pill with nothing in it. Because
A lot of
But-
times just your faith enough will heal you, and you have faith in this stuff and you're healed.
You're using little children and they don't know nothing. That's war.
Yeah.
It's war
Well, there's
because
also a devil in
they
this world.
pray the Satan's prayers or something like? Is it spiritual medicine or
Yeah,
diabolic medicine
Yes.
that works in your
Spiritual
body?
medicine.
Yeah.
Oh my!
That's why.
And so you want the actual thing that has a good percentage of the herb that you want. And otherwise you're just getting alcohol with a little bit of essence of a herb. That's homeopathic. And so you got to watch out for that stuff, because the problem is God gave the Adventist people the health message. And what we did with it is we didn't do anything with it. We let Kellogg run off into a pantheistic way, and now all the spiritualists have our message, and they're teaching it falsely. And so while we had the message to take to the world, now it's the New Agers that have it. And we're not looked at as anything. They go to an Adventist hospital and they learn how to get abortions and all this other stuff. That's what they learn. Chemotherapy, and this is what they get from Adventist hospitals.
It's a sad thing.
Yeah, they go to the New Agers and they become vegans and
I know.
all this other stuff.
And they're serving meat and all of this stuff at our hospital.
Yeah, you go to our hospital on Sabbath, you can eat a hamburger with real meat in it on Sabbath. And so that's where we have gone. And so it's sad because God has given us this knowledge and we didn't do anything with it. Okay, so I did make a list. I probably should see what we've done. There's a plant right by your feet, right there.
This one here?
Yes.
Strawberry.
You're right.
Wild strawberry.
These are wild strawberry.
Wild strawberries.
Yes, right here.
But there's no berries.
This time of year, the berries are not on, but
Winter time?
you can find certain times of year
Late
berry.
spring, early summer, right?
I'm not exactly sure its blooming range. It's different up here.
You say.
Yeah, they're little though.
Wild strawberry, Jalidita.
They're just little strawberries, but they're loaded with flavor. One time, my brother and I, when we were kids, we took enough time to fill a pitcher full of wild strawberries. It took all day
Yeah.
to fill a pitcher, but that was the best smoothie I had in my entire life.
Yeah.
It was so rich and so yummy. And so they're a lot more flavorful than the big ones, but they're little.
Yeah.
You can make tea out
So,
of the leaves.
You can make a pie.
question.
Strawberries?
Yeah.
They're just like normal strawberries.
Tiny, sweet.
But you can do the
You
leaves.
can make tea, and I can't
Yeah, you can make
remember what
tea
That's
out
what I
of
wondered.
leaves.
Can we eat
Is
the
for
leaves?
Yeah, you
answering
can make-
her question.
We can make
It helps balance female hormones and
That's
all.
what the leaves
Yes,
are.
yes,
Tea.
and
The wild strawberry
The
leaves?
leaves of the wild
yes,
strawberry.
and also raspberry.
Señorita Jalidita,
Oh,
que hacen balance.
we make tea out of it?
Yes,
that's all
make
these
tea
here.
out of it.
Okay, this
the
is
mats in it.
estrogens that we need.
Yes, you
Okay.
need tea from those, and they'll
You
balance
don't
you.
need soya. Only with this is fine.
Yeah, you can
Soy,
have.
sorry, I'm talking Spanish. Soy.
Yeah, this really helps, and the raspberry leaves as well, and chamomile.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So, knowing that the soy products and the wheat products are GMO right now, and corn is GMO, so these herbs are replacing the GMO products that the Lord provided for us that the devil took and damaged. Because
These are definitely very helpful. The problem is God made all these plants good in the beginning. And when he was asked, then why do you have wild herbs, or how did it go, the scripture? And the way it goes is an enemy has done this. You know, why do you have
I'll
tares?
plant the tares in the
And he
field.
says an enemy has done this.
Yeah.
And Sister White comments that God had no weeds in his garden. That it was through the ingenious method of amalgamation, which was amalgamation is basically mixing the plant with something not of its family. And to create these things. You know, some people, they passed a law in Oregon to legalize marijuana. And some people will argue and debate on how good marijuana is.
because God created marijuana.
And they say it's natural.
They say.
You know, it's natural.
No, it's
And to an extent, it originally probably was natural. And there are a lot of helpful benefits, but the problem is all the bad stuff that's been mixed with it counteracts anything that's good. It's an evil plant.
been bred to have
it's
too
been
much poison?
bred to be able to have more of the drug in it. Just take 30 years ago, the power of marijuana was nothing like it is today. It's much stronger today. And it's a drug. God doesn't want this stuff in our body. But what has happened is the devil has taken good plants and has mixed it and amalgamated it to where now it's an evil plant and it can't be used. And so and a lot of times you'll find a plant that looks just like another plant, and one is good and the other one is bad, and they look just the same. And I think it's because the devil has played with that plant and has turned it evil, and now you have two varieties of the plant. And so an enemy has done this. There was no bad plants in the Garden of Eden. It was all good. But through sin, through people tampering with the plants, they have modified them and have created a lot of bad plants.
They modified the DNA.
Yeah. I mean, they put fish genes in your tomatoes. Why is there fish genes in your tomatoes? That's amalgamation. That's not normal. That's not like taking a black tomato, which naturally there are black tomatoes, and mixing it with the red tomato. You mean it's not even tomato. They've taken a fish in a tomato. You know, it's confusing. And now when we go to the stores, we only have one variety of everything. We have one variety of tomato, we have one variety of pear, we have one variety of corn, we have one variety of carrots, and there's actually endless varieties. If you actually just grow heirloom plants, there's so much variety. When's the last time you ate a white or a yellow or an orange or a black tomato? They had a little bit the other day. They had some yellow and orange ones in potluck.
Watermelon? I never see watermelon.
They have white watermelons.
But
Yeah.
this is original or is it
That's normal. Yeah, that's good. It's original, but we don't eat that stuff. We just eat what they commercially sell us nowadays. You know, we don't know of any of the varieties anymore. So it's good to learn gardening. It's good to learn variety. It's good to learn the plants that God has already given us.
Amen.
Yeah. All right. So what haven't I got that I wrote on my list? Let's go ahead and go this way, and we'll find a few more before we have to see it. Quake and ask it. What? Quake and ask it. Quake.
Yeah, it's right here.
Oh, this is the little one.
Yeah.
This here is rose hips. Yeah, it's a blood purifier. You can go into the store and buy rose hips, and all it is this. Yeah.
Oh, a lot of those.
You can eat these, and eventually they'll bloom into like a little rose, like it turns kind of pink, purple, white roses. And they're rose hips.
So do you?
These things will bloom into flowers, into little roses.
Oh, so we can eat this right now?
How do we know what berries are edible? I mean, I see this kind of thing, but I'm afraid to eat it, you know.
No, this is from the rose.
You need to know the plant itself. You can't just eat any berry.
Oh, I see. It's got the...
The
We got
principle
things
is,
like that here. At
and
the
this
end.
isn't the rule, but it's a principle, is that if it's white, do not bite. Because usually white ones are poisonous. Not all of them, but usually. If it's red, use your head. In other words, you need to know, because half of them are bad, half of them are good. And if they're black, you're okay, Jack.
Okay.
So like your blackberries, your blueberries, your darker berries are usually good, currants and so on. And so if it's white, do not bite. If it's red, use your head. If it's black, you're okay, Jack.
So you can eat them like that?
Yeah, I just ate one.
Okay.
And also you can harvest them and dry them and then put them like half a cup in a pitcher of water and just leave it overnight. And that's like vitamin C. Good vitamin C.
Okay, good.
Can you write down what you say?
They say you dry these things out and put it in a pan of water,
Pitcher.
a pitcher of water,
Will you
and let
dry
them
'em out?
soak up and just eat them that way.
Just drink the
juice.
water. You
Yeah.
can eat them, but just drink the juice especially.
Yeah, like a tea then. Yeah.
You dry them first, though?
Yeah, and you can even do, it's called cold infusion, just with cold water.
Yeah.
The vitamin C.
Cold infusion. You can see that thing with purple flower on top of it?
Yeah, over there.
Yeah.
Funny.
It's
Oh,
fine.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know
yeah,
if that one was not good. It's probably snakes. It might be water too. But you see that guy over here?
Yeah.
You know what this is? The thistle. And it's actually a part of the artichoke family. They're like a different variety of an artichoke. And Jonathan will show you how to do this. Maybe. So that's like an artichoke, and basically what you'll do, if you touch it going up, you're fine. Touch it the other way, it sticks you.
Oh, it hurts.
It's not that practical because it's so spiny, but if you laid this down, you can
cut it.
cut it in half.
Cut this one?
Can you cut it? What?
Jonathan, can you cut that one?
No. Don't.
You want me to
What are we
just
looking
cut it
for?
off?
Yes.
There's like a little nut or a little fruit on the inside of it.
That's what that's what edible.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like the artichoke heart, the heart of an artichoke. Well, there's one inside of here that you can eat.
Oh, inside there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
it's
cut
like
it
a
in
little
half.
artichoke heart.
We have that at home.
They're not very practical because there's a lot of spines and there's not a whole lot in there. But technically you can eat them.
You want that one? Oops, sorry.
Good.
Another thing is, do you know what a cattail looks like?
Oh, yeah.
Cattail.
Yeah, cattail.
Cattail.
Why don't you come around? They're growing all along the bank, but they're not. They grow up a big stick, and then there's this big round hot dog on the end of them. Have you ever seen that before?
Yeah.
There's none right here. There's probably some further down. But they basically grow like a big hot dog on the end of them.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Yeah. And certain times of the year, it pollens.
Yeah.
And around that time, if you put a plastic bag on it and let it pollen and shake all the pollen out, you can eat all that pollen. Also, if you pull up the roots, there's like a natural foam around the roots, like an insulator. And even if the pond is completely frozen, the roots don't freeze up because the roots of the cattail has foam all around it. And so what you do is you cut off all the foam off the cattail, and you use the root. It's like a bright white root, and you can use it like a potato. You can cook it like a potato and eat it. And all these long, looks like grass, but they're real long.
In the river?
green
In
things
the
coming
river?
up?
Yeah.
Inside the river?
All those long things, all those are cattails. If you were to grab them, there's a whole network of roots all connected together amongst all these tall green things. And you just pull those up, take the foam off, and you can cook it like a potato.
Okay.
Another thing is this right here, this grass. It would take a while, but there's a lot of grass seed in here. And you could just simply, when it's ready, you can just pull a lot of the chaff off and get the seeds out. And what you'll do is you'll dry it out, and see there's a little seed right there and there.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys?
I see.
Yeah. So she could see too. See the little seeds in this grass?
From this one right here?
From the
From these.
this one.
Yeah.
All right, one more.
these are big ones here.
Ah, I can see your hand.
It would take a while, but I've seen people do it where they collect a lot of this and get all this seed, and then they dry it, they beat it and mix a little water, and they make dough out of it. And you can actually bake bread with it.
It kind of looks like wheat.
Yeah.
Yeah. They bake bread, but the problem with it is you need a binder, otherwise it kind of, like bread will crust apart.
Yeah.
And something bit me. Yeah. But the best binder that I've found in the wilderness is cattail root.
Okay.
If you soak
grind
the
it?
cattail root, the water will become starchy,
Oh.
and you use that starch as a bread binder.
Do you soak it in cold water? Or?
Yeah, you just soak it in water,
Okay.
and it will become very starchy.
Okay.
Esa, no me recuerdo cómo se llama.
Okay, we're gonna go and look at one more plant, maybe two more, and then we'll do that. Don't grab it.
What, nettle?
All right, so this plant here, don't touch it. But this is what is called stinging nettle. It has that name for a reason. Just if you want to know why they call it that, just touch it. It's called stinging nettle. And they got little needles on them that poke you and basically feels like electrical shock.
Back up,
It's
Ezzy.
kind of interesting.
Take a picture. In opposite way. Thank you.
And it lasts for a long time.
Yeah,
you
it
don't want
does.
to get it on you. It's hard to get off, and it's like a shock to you.
Poison needles? Needles?
Stinging.
Stinging needles.
Yeah, stinging nettle.
What is it good for?
Now,
When you touch
can
it
touch
with
it if
both
you touch it
fingers,
in the
it's like
right
if you have
direction.
something between your
I'm
fingers.
not going to do it. But this is the reason I point this out, because you think, why would I want to touch a stinging nettle? It's actually one of the most nutritious plants you have. This has more nutrients than anything around us. It's very healthy.
Ortiga? Ortiga?
Yes. Yeah, it does.
Ortiga?
Just use gloves.
Yes.
Yeah,
My mom dries it
So-
and then put it in.
yeah. Just use
Salad and all
gloves
that.
and try to
Dry
knock
it
the
out,
needles
dry
off
it
or
out.
whatever, or
It's
just
okay.
boil it. After you boil it, it's not going to sting you anymore. And so just cook it like spinach or something, then you can eat it.
We can drink it in
Yeah,
green
real high in
juices.
calcium.
Green juices.
Probably, yeah.
What's that?
In green juices.
Green juice.
Yeah.
Actually, when people are sick with skin sick, or you know they are so bad,
Arthritis.
you spanking them with that.
Yeah.
With that. your skin's coming
Uh-huh.
coming
It helps
up
your
red,
skin.
Or something.
back. And the beginning is itching, but not for a long time. But work to help
Arthritis too,
to
isn't
heal
it?
you, to heal you.
So
That's
you
good.
can eat it but not like touch it?
No, te puedes pegarte con esa para la
She's saying if you have a lot of
para
skin
si
problems,
tienes
you can
problemas
touch
de
it.
skin o
It'll help
tienes
your skin.
enfermedades como hace cancer, you know.
My parents are drying it and grinding it and putting it in salad and everything.
Yeah.
Use a lot
So
with all
this
the
is like
patients.
one of the best plants you
It's
can eat.
Almany sanitary in Colombia.
But, and I've seen people like,
There are
will
different
check it for
kinds.
there's
long
way
time.
you can handle it and just
Yeah.
keep your fingers
I have a person who's
back on it.
grabbing
You
it
could
with a
fold
glove.
it up
And
and then
it's
eat it that way,
Yeah.
and the needles won't get you.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna get stuck.
Ezzy, stay away from that.
But that's stinging nettle. Just right around the corner, we have what is called mullein.
I think I've walked it.
This right here. Now mullein will get taller than I am, and the leaves get really big.
Yeah, see that?
Mullein?
Mullein. And they get really big and they get yellow flowers. Just a big tall thing and really big leaves. Now the problem with mullein, even though you can eat it, is feel how fuzzy that is.
It's hard to digest.
No, you can eat it, but
I feel like
mullein.
this is the one for asthma.
Just right there.
Okay.
The problem is when you eat it, it's so hairy in your mouth, it's hard to swallow.
To chew.
Yeah, it's hard to chew. You could try some if you want to see. Well, I can
May
eat
dry
that.
your tongue, may dry your tongue.
What's that?
May dry.
One good thing it's used for is people will dry it in their attic, and it's like a filter. It will filter toxins out of the air and prevent you from getting lung ailments during the winter. The pioneers used to hang it in their attics just to be like a filter in their house. You can eat it, but it's so hairy you can't get it down. And it's good for, like, if you make a tincture, it's good for ear infections. It'll help pull the wax and stuff out of your ears.
And I think
Don't taste
asthma. I think
nothing.
my mom used
Asthma, yeah, it's good for asthma.
Take the little flowers and drop them into olive oil. Take all the yellow
Yeah.
flowers off and then use that medicated oil.
Do you
For ear
boil
oil.
it or you just eat it straight?
You can eat it straight, but I mean, just try.
Try.
You're right.
Don't taste
You'll
nothing.
see why it's difficult to eat.
No sabe nada.
You just taste and spit it out if you want to eat it, but
No sabe
you'll
nada.
quickly learn why it's hard to eat this thing.
Oh yeah.
Being able to try.
Quickly learn.
It's like you're eating a ball of hair.
It feels a little rubbery.
But when we worked in the mountains, we used to call it mountain mud.
Yeah.
I taste it fine.
The reason is because it's better than toilet paper. I've known people who purposely pick this and put it in their bathrooms rather than toilet paper.
Oh,
So
okay,
it's a
see.
great
I see.
soft. It works
It's a
good.
natural toilet paper.
So when you run for the mountains and you have
We
no
don't have
toilet
toilet
paper,
paper right now.
That's right.
and the leaves grow big, big old leaves and lots of them, and so that's mullein.
God had made provision for everything, right?
Yeah.
Toilet paper. Natural one.
But are these good for to eat or what?
Yeah, you eat it.
Provide.
Yeah.
Provide what? Minerals or what?
Yeah.
I
But it's
can.
really hard. It's like you're eating a ball of hair.
For me, it tastes good.
Okay. Good.
Remember in Kenya we had a lung infection.
What
They
is this?
sent us dried
Oh, this
fresh
is
oil
okay.
and we
I
mixed
know.
it and
It's
drank
somewhere
it.
over here. What was
For
Yeah.
lung inspection.
The one
okay.
here.
Now this one, what is it good for?
Oh,
Because I missed it.
there's a nut inside of it.
Oh,
This is like
you missed the whole
artichoke.
class. No.
You know how
Hoy
you have
tenían la
artichoke
clase
hearts?
práctica.
This has like a little heart inside of it. Yeah.
And it's eatable?
Yeah.
Tenían que haber puesto una en la mañana y otra en la tarde, que no compitieran.
So we're pretty much done. What time is it?
Ah, pero Salvador está grabando.
11:30.
Oh, 11:30.
So
I'll
we're
show
talking
you
about
another
this.
plant out that way, and then we'll let out. And so I'll towards the greenhouse over there. Try not to disturb what they're doing. That?
I said, is it this plant that you're going to talk about?
Yeah.
All right, now.
This is the last plant.
The classes.
What is this, Sophia?
Verdolaga, look at that.
All right. Sophia's going to tell us all about this plant.
This is Cleaving Johnny.
What is it good
What's
for?
another name for it?
Verdolaga. For Mexican, verdolaga.
It's parsley.
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 What can you do with it? She cooked a whole pot of us last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And made a salad out of it.
What do you do with it? How do you eat it?
All I did was I rinsed it, and then I put it in a bowl and for the salad, and then I rinsed it and then cooked it for the
Greens.
So you
greens.
boiled it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can eat it raw, too?
Yeah, you
For
can eat it
salad?
raw.
Chop it up.
You can eat it raw or just make like a soup out of it. And you can see like usually disturbed ground like this in garden areas or whatever. And these things get big and fat and there's like all over the place and we pick them because they're weeds and we throw them away.
I have a lot of them.
But
Them over there.
this is actually a really good plant. It's very tasty actually if you just add a little stuff to it. Yeah, it's a great plant. And so we throw it out like a weed.
Her and her sister.
Apparently it's really good for thickening. If you dry it and then grind it, you can put it in gravies and it will thicken it.
Thicken gravies, okay. So it's a good thickener.
I want to call.
Yeah. And so you see it all around our feet here. And so that's another great plant. And so that's the ones that I literally took like 5-10 minutes just doing a circle here and made a list of all these plants. So there's more around us, but that's what I had. But as you can see, how far have we traveled?
Not that far.
How many plants have you learned in just that distance?
Menos de una milla, less than a mile. Less than a mile.
Yeah.
A lot of plants.
Do you feel a little more comfortable that you could survive?
Yeah.
You know, because it's good to grow gardens and everything, but we may not have them at sometimes. But now we have all these plants in our minds that we can now use. And so praise the Lord for that. So let's go ahead, we're going to go ahead and close. We're getting done just slightly early. But yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad I've learned these things and I've really enjoyed knowing these things. It has opened my mind to the world around me. I could see a tree and say that's a juniper and that's a pine, that's an aspen, and I know it. Knowledge will help us. And I'm very thankful to become more acquainted with the nature that God has given us. And so at this time, let us go ahead and close in a word of prayer. So we're about to pray. Heavenly Father, we are very thankful for the world that you have created for us and the natural things. They're beautiful plants and they're useful plants. In society today, we know that there's a lot of confusion when it comes to healing. And we think that we have to mix foreign products into our body to heal us. In heaven, you said that the leaves are for the healing of the nations. And you have prepared a table for us. You have prepared all this food for us. Lord, help us to become more acquainted with the natural world and more acquainted with the God who created it. So I pray once again that you'll help these things to stay in our minds. If time ever rises that we need to use them, please bring them back to our remembrance. And we thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 Thank you.